Hey, it's Sim here. Just wanted to shoot a spontaneous video about one particular thing I'm happy with the laser setup as of today. As I'm sure you are now aware, if you own a laser, you end up with a lot of materials that need organizing, whether it be scraps or whether it be full sheet stock. And what I've been doing up until today has been just stacking them up and then kind of occasionally, like, kind of page through them and look, and it's dark, and finding like shorter pieces under tall pieces, like, oh, I don't even know I had that. So it's a little bit of a challenge. And I've seen some people build like actual dedicated shelves with vertical storage and dividers in between. But what I didn't like about that was, A, it required a decent amount of time to build, to design and build, and then find a place for good amount of money for the materials. Wood, it adds up once you start getting into a lot of delineations. And it usually creates kind of like a channel through which is pretty dark and static. So you can lose stuff back there, and it's gonna have to be wide enough for you to reach your hand back there, etc. So I've come up with a solution that I'm very happy with, and I wanted to share it with you here. So let's get to the point here. So this is my jerry-rigged flat materials storage solution. So what you'll see I've done here is I've just got like this wire shelf that I got from a Wendy's that went out of business. And I've set the shelves at a height that's just maybe a couple inches above my standard sheet size here. So typically I get stock in the either like 10 or 12 inch in this dimension. So they'll either be 20 or 24 deep or 12 by 12s like these pieces of ABS. And then I just went ahead and picked up these short bungees from Harbor Freight for like $5 for a box of them, and then arranged them in this orientation here with these triangles. And I tried out a lot of different like combinations with like duplicates and different angles and things to kind of play with the way that the materials are when they're in there. And I tend to like this the best because it offers support at the bottom, open at the top, so you can kind of you get a little bit of flap. I forget exactly why I ended up on this, but ultimately you only end up using 2 bungees per column. So this is nice because now everything's not only open and accessible, and you can see all the way to the back. You can keep things separate, but it's also flexible. So as you're kind of paging through, you've got room to kind of bend things. And then down the road, if you end up committing to a particular material and ordering a whole bunch of it, you can just pull the bungees and move them over and make more room for that material. And on the left, you'll see here, I'm also using them to keep in check all of my long roll like stock materials. So you can just kind of pull them out, use them, throw them back on top of the pile, and that works. Keeps it all kind of, takes advantage of the vertical space there. And then for materials that that are thin enough that they can't really be stored in this way, I've just got a really thin shelf here for those, and then I still have to kind of keep those organized. I have quite the variety here, a lot of card stock, some stencil material, dowels for joining multiple sheets, cut a little 8mm hole in it, and then miscellaneous thin wood stuff like veneers and all that. And then the much larger stuff like wood, cardboard, etc., I just keep over here because I just don't have any space for it on the shelf. Or do I think it would fit? But I like to keep cardboard on hand. Anytime I get a good quality box, I'll cut a sheet out of it because it makes for really good prototyping, dimensional checking and just sanity checks before you start wasting quality materials. And it actually etches fairly decently too. It browns and blackens okay. And depending on the fluting and the thickness, you can do some pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, so that is it. Just wanted to share that with you. It's a quick and easy method of wrangling your flat stock and keeping it where it belongs. You can even put smaller pieces. I forgot to mention one other thing I had to do to keep some things from falling through was throw a bungee across the bottom. And then I think I did 2 of those, one in the front, one in the back here, just because, again, keep the smaller pieces from just falling through on their own. So that's it. I hope you appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.